I'm in New York City for a few weeks, and I wanted to see what every card shop in Manhattan had to offer.
I don't want to just dip into a card shop, high-five the guy or gal working there, and then head out. So I've got three main goals today while walking through the city for the game stores. The first one is find a place at a Premium Power Pro full art.
It's an important card for fighting decks coming up, and for a full art, it's pretty cheap, at about $2 a piece.
Goal number two, let's find some Heart Gold Soul Silver energies.
These are widely considered some of the best energies in the game.
And goal number three, I want to get a copy of every Darkrai there is. I have most of the copies already, but I'm missing like a random one from the Diamond and Pearl era and the Dark Explorers full art, which is my holy grail. Also, I got to complete all these goals by 6 p.m. because I got a dinner and I'm risking a friendship if I don't show up.
So with that being said, let's get a move on. First, we're starting on the Upper West Side at Bleecker UWS, which should stand for Upper West Side. The space inside is compact but not crowded, well lit with a display case of expensive Pokemon cards and sports cards up front, and little trays of medium value cards that I spent a bit of time going through. They also hold regular community events here, like trade nights. I did find a medium priced Darkrai that I was missing up until about a week ago, where I nabbed it at a local card show, so unfortunately I wasn't able to make any progress toward the goals here. It's nice that they encourage you to stay and peruse their cards, and even provide little water bottles for free.
Just left Bleecker on the Upper West Side. It's cute. It's a really nice, cute little store. They had some bins of singles, some vintage stuff, and then mostly bulky X's. Also, when I was looking through, the prices definitely were such that even if I found something I wanted, I don't think it would be quite what I want to pay. Anyway, heading out now. We're heading to Book Off next. It's a well-known Japanese chain for like secondhand goods, kind of like a Goodwill, but I was really surprised to see one here in New York City. It showed up when I Googled trading cards, so might as well check it out.
And after taking a quick train from the Natural History Museum to Midtown, we've arrived. I'm honestly blown away at how similar to the Japanese Book Off stores it feels, filled with the same anime figurines, games, and manga, with the majority in Japanese. I had a pretty fun time wandering, and in the back, I did find the Pokemon TCG section, with a panel dedicated specifically to the cards. Unfortunately, they had only Japanese cards, and as I'm looking solely for English, I can only admire it and move on. They also had a cool lenticular poster that I definitely considered, only to remember it wasn't going to fit in the suitcase.
Very cool to see Book Off in the US. It felt like identical to a Japanese Book Off. I think all the cards were Japanese, a lot of the manga was Japanese, a lot of anime figurines, but sadly no English cards, so couldn't find anything for the collection there, or for any playables. So far, 0 for 2 of stores that can fulfill any part of my goals. On to the next.
Just a short walk away is our third store, Montasy Comics. This starts the New York City trend of having a buzz into second floor shops, which is definitely something I'm not used to doing. For some reason, I always feel like I'm doing it wrong. Inside, they have an impressive variety of sports memorabilia, as well as display cases with singles for Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! And other trading card games, though their Pokemon section is a bit bare. They also had binders of cards behind the counter, which I did take the time to flip through, as well as quite a few tables of play space for the multitude of gaming events they have on their weekly calendar. Unfortunately, the case and binder were mostly bulk and low rarity, and they didn't have any Premium Power Pros, Heart Gold Soul Silver energies, and definitely no Darkrai.
We're 0 for 3 so far on game stores, and I'm getting a little nervous about our goals. I thought the first one, full art Premium Power Pro would be pretty easy to find, but now I'm not so sure. Anyway, now we're gonna make our way straight down Midtown to the Complete Strategist. Should be about a 5-minute walk from Montasy. For full transparency, I have been to the Complete Strategist before on an earlier trip, and they are primarily a board game store and very little cards, so I don't expect to accomplish the goals here.
And we arrive at the Complete Strategist. The Complete Strategist is a store that has the feel of having been here for decades, and there's an old-timey sense of comfort when you step in. It's fairly simple, just 2 rows of board games, both new and classic, various kinds of tabletop role-playing games, miniatures of all shapes, sizes, and worlds, paint supplies, and more. They have a small section for trading card games up at the front, no singles, just sealed product, which means they won't be fulfilling any of the goals I've set out today, unfortunately. But it's always nice to go into the Complete Strategist, especially since it's so close to other prime locations in Midtown Manhattan. Speaking of Midtown, a quick stroll up Broadway gets us to Dave & Adams, New York City. Unlike the last few shops we visited, Dave & Adams is sprawling, with floor-to-ceiling windows and bright lights illuminating the entire space. It's definitely got the feel of high-end collectibles, and that's furthered by the cases filled with cards worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, as well as a comprehensive variety of sealed product. After checking the cases, I asked if they have anything on the lower end for singles, and I get the chance to rummage through a box, my favorite. And although the singles prices were generally higher than I'd prefer, I did find a good deal on a Claydol from Great Encounters.
Just left Dave and Adams, and their singles prices were kind of absurd. It was like 50% over market, but their sealed product's actually really, really reasonable. So if you want to pick up a sealed product, Dave and Adams is quite nice for that. Unfortunately, I don't buy sealed product, I only buy singles. We are now 0 for 5 out of goals for the game store, and I'm now at the point where I'm like, if I can even like glimpse one of the goals, that'd be nice. Yeah, heading to Next Legacy Gaming. Well, it's right there, but how do I get there?
And yet again, the intercom to get let in the door to the second floor strikes again. Say that 3 times fast. This time the signs were a bit more apparent, so there's that at least. Next Legacy, not to be confused with their sister store, Next Legacy Gaming, isn't a huge store, but it's clean, well lit, and has the most Pokemon singles in the cases out of any store I've visited today. They also have some very nice looking Pokemon decor. That's such a cool Dragonite statue and Mewtwo in the corner. This is also the closest I've gotten so far to finding any of the gold cards at all, with actual Full Art Premium Power Pro in the case. But unfortunately both copies were not only $6, but were in Japanese, so I had to pass on those. I was told their sister store, Next Legacy Gaming, was the main location for their tournament nights, but that singles were all located at this store. So it looks like that's 2 strikeouts in 1.
Just left Next Legacy. It's a really cool space, and they actually had a bunch of reasonable singles. Unfortunately, they were both a little too expensive and also weren't in English. If you don't know, if you're in North America, you can only play English cards, so the Japanese copies of Premium Power Pro are unfortunately not very useful to me. But hey, that was the closest we've gotten to seeing something that we needed. But now it's about 12:30, and the next couple locations are close to here, but they only open at 2 p.m. so got a little bit of time to get something to eat.
I was told to keep this place a secret, but I'm notoriously bad at doing that. So the salmon katsu was really good, and if you can find this place, I definitely recommend you trying it out. Filled up on fantastic Japanese food, I get out of the sun and back to buzzing into second floor operations. This is Next Legacy Gaming, the companion store to the Next Legacy we were just at. And like the clerk mentioned before, this is all sealed product with a tournament space. I was amazed at how large the tournament space really was though, with rows and rows of tables, all equipped with gaming chairs, as well as a huge space with several TVs for entertainment and gaming alike. They had a healthy supply of packs and other sealed product for all sorts of trading card games, and although I didn't have time to participate in a tournament, given the chance, I definitely would have. But that's enough time in Midtown. Let's go south. This is Bifrost Games on 27th, and unfortunately I wasn't allowed to film inside, but they had a pretty sparse display case of MTG and Pokemon, as well as a very spacious play area with tables going all the way back. They also have a robust events calendar for gaming events, with weekly tournaments for all sorts of games.
At this point, we're like, 0 for 6, 0 for 7? I'll put the number on the screen. The next spot should have some stuff. I've heard they're a little pricey, but they're also one of the premier shops in New York, so hopefully they have some good stuff. First bus of the trip, now we're in Chelsea. This area feels a lot like Seattle, honestly. It's like much quieter, cobblestone roads. Definitely a different feel than Midtown Manhattan, or even the Upper West Side. But the Pokemon shop should be just ahead.
At stop number 9, this is the Poké Court, possibly the most magnificent shop I've seen on this trip, with wall-to-wall Pokemon merchandise, binders, rarities like EX Crystal Guardians from 2006, almost 20 years ago. They have a back area with not only packed wall display cases, with both slabbed and raw cards, but also many binders with Japanese cards, modern era illustration rare cards, and vintage. At the back, there's a counter to conduct sales with the staff if you want to sell some stuff you have to the store. One of the coolest aspects, however, is the pack bar. They've set up a facsimile of a bar with menus and everything to order from the vast sealed pack collection they have behind the counter. It was just such a cool space to be in, and although I asked and they didn't have any of the goals I set out for myself, I just had a blast flipping through all their singles and looking at the cases. It was definitely tempted by a few cards that I didn't need, but of course, wanted anyway. All in all, definitely a must-see if you're a fan of the Pokemon TCG.
I will say out of the stores I've been to so far, that one definitely felt the most friendly. Very much, a collector's store as well. But overall, Poké Court had some really cool stuff at really reasonable prices. I saw a full art Guzma that I almost picked up for GLC, but honestly, I've played maybe, like 2 games of GLC, so it's hard to justify. But yeah, now we're leaving Poké Court and we're gonna walk all the way down about 15 minutes to the next stop. The original location of the Bleecker Trading, the same store or the same, brand that we were at this morning at the first stop. See you there.
And as the day gets older and the air gets colder, we arrive at Bleecker Trading. It's definitely smaller than its sibling in the Upper West Side, but with no less product on the shelves. Maybe even more. They've got a bunch of sealed sports cards, Magic the Gathering, and in Pokemon, they've got UPCs, ETBs, and loose packs, as well as row boxes of Pokemon singles to peruse, with a small stack of Pheasantipity EX for $3 a piece, a fantastic price for a $7 staple that survives the upcoming rotation. They've also got a case with higher-end sports cards and slabs ranging from vintage to modern, as well as some other ungraded higher-end cards too, that I took my time looking through for any Darkrai I could add to the collection.
Just leaving the Bleecker Trading location in West Village. There's some nice stuff. They actually had a stack of Pheasantipity EX for $3, which, given the current market price of about $7, is kind of a steal. So, picked up a few. Some friends back home might want some, so grabbed 2. Only the second purchase I made today, actually. And at this point, I think the goals are dead. We're not hitting any of the goals today. But I'm still having a good time. It's a nice way of exploring Manhattan because we're kind of going the whole length from Upper West Side all the way down to Chinatown. But yeah, gonna head to a place called Card Vault by Tom Brady. The online listing did say they had, Pokemon and other trading cards, so a little skeptical. Is that not the Pokemon font?
It really was Card Vault by the one and only Tom Brady. They had a small Pokemon section near the entrance with some new sealed product like UPCs and the Kangaskhan collection, as well as some slab singles from various eras. The rest of the store was entirely sports focused, which is definitely to be expected with a name including by Tom Brady. And true to their name, they did have a vault in the back with what looks to be some Tom Brady memorabilia. Though as a not football guy at all, that's really just my best guess. And now we finally made it to Chinatown. Our first shop is The Shop, and this will be a quick one as I didn't get a chance to film inside and it was crowded. The owner has a huge collection of slabs and boxes that he's happy to show customers though, and also tens of overflowing binders of bulk.
It was mostly like pure bulk, yellow border, commons, uncommons, so didn't think I was gonna find. He was like, I have 20 books to look through, and I'm like, haha.
Our last stop is possibly the most hidden of all. Silk Road Gaming is located at the back of Silk Road Cafe, and I saw multiple people like me walk right by and have to double back. It's got the feel of a card game speakeasy almost, which is a fun concept. Inside, they've got a solid selection of sealed product, as well as some binders of Pokemon singles, though it seems like the vast majority of their singles cater to Digimon and One Piece, which is an uncommon combination. They also have some massive boxes of bulk for various games, including Pokemon, and I did take the liberty of going through some last-minute bulk finds to no avail. They also have a large play space upstairs and a robust events calendar for tournaments too. So overall, let's look at the goals I had. Number 1, the Premium Power Pro. This is the one I got the closest to, as I did end up finding 2 copies of the Full Art Premium Power Pro, though they weren't at that $2 price point I was hoping for and were also in Japanese. Number 2, the Heart Gold Soul Silver Energies. This was the one that I didn't even get a sniff at. I saw no Heart Gold Soul Silver Energies anywhere I went, and multiple stores confirmed that when I asked at the counter. And finally, number 3, the Missing Darkrai's. I did see a solitary Darkrai that I did need up until very recently, but the Grail of the Dark Explorer's Darkrai was definitely nowhere to be found today. That's 0 for 3 from the 13 card shops in Manhattan, which was not a result I could have expected at the start of the day. It was still a very fun time wandering all the way from the Upper West Side down to Chinatown and getting to see the different kinds of stores that make up the fabric of the New York City Manhattan trading card game scene. Thanks for coming along with me on this ride. If you like content like this, be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments below, as well as anything you think I missed. Otherwise, I'll catch you all next time.